I conflict. When I open my mouth, it'll get wet. These diamonds surprising like Russian roulette. Might just go by a limb, I couldn't fit in the bed. I can't go with my pole, I put this on the set. If I do when I live, I'ma spin with that yet. Hey, 19 on the hearse selling. Once I double my profit, I couldn't look back. I used to laugh cause the was fat. Now I'm having my way and he broke and they wreck. No capping in none of my raps. He thought he was up on the board till I showed him the stats. Fingers hurting from thumbing through racks. I feel like a young Deion Sanders 2-1 on my back. But it's still 23 on my strap. I had dreams of ballin' on fields and that cell writing rap. Trying to put my whole team on the map. We already known in the streets and that's really the fact. Fully auto ARs attached. So ain't no pump faking this trigger. You playin' that stat. Yo, we quick to give back. But I swear from the shoulders, I'm colder. Yeah, I'm really that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 88 of the Splashcast, the ATL Edition. I am your co-host, Reggie.
I'm your co-host, Norwood. Let's have a good time. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe, and tell somebody else about the podcast. We have a good time over here.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, man. We got a lot of good content over here. We have a good time. Realest podcast in the world. With that being said, man, y'all know when it comes to the ATL edition of episode 88 of the Splashcast, we talk about Falcons, Dream, Hawks, and Braves when we have the news. Affectionately known Braves as our oldest, Falcons as our middle, Hawks Dream, our youngest children. Let's start out with the Falcons, man. We got a few new things. Big news.
Are they
first.
really new in parentheses?
Big news first. Ryan Nielsen. We talked about it briefly on Saturday Morning Live. Ryan Nielsen is now our new defensive coordinator. He was the former co-defensive coordinator in New Orleans. He is credited with getting the New Orleans defense. He was the defensive line coach before that with New Orleans. He's credited for building and maintaining that beast of a defensive line that New Orleans has over there. So shout out to Ryan Nielsen, man. I'm excited about this one.
I'm going to say that this is not one of the selections I even heard of being interviewed. I do, as many jokes as I made about the Colts doing what they did, looks like Atlanta might have done the very same thing. They let us know about the two black guys that they interviewed, but nobody else. I ain't going to say that's what they did, but I'm also not willing to say that's not what they didn't do. You look for your own into that and tell me whatever you come up with is what you got. With that said, I will say we like to stick to what we know. We know that our GM, Terry Fontenot, came from the Saints. Ryan Nielsen, former Saints employee. I can see how we got what we got.
Well, I was reading up about him while you were speaking, and the Saints have recorded, since his time there, have recorded 281.0 sacks. That's second most since 2017. They did not allow a 100-yard rusher in an NFL record 55 regular season and postseason games from 2017 to 2020.
That is why you gotta digress.
And he finished in the top 4 in run defense in 4 of the past 5 seasons. What is the Falcons' issues defensively? Can't rush the passer, can't stop the run. If you can't rush the passer, can't stop the run, you go out and get a defensive coordinator who is obviously one of the best at rushing the passer and stopping the run since he got there. So, remains to be seen how well he'll be. I like it. I like it a lot.
Once again, they're making so many good decisions at this point. You just kind of got to go along for the ride and help they continue to make good decisions, and don't let their ownership start running things and let their sons start making decisions like another team of ours.
So this is funny. Cam Jordan said Ryan to defensive coordinator job was inevitable. The top-tier defensive line coach in terms of developing pass rush and emphasizing technique on run gap integrity. Wishing the semi-best as he willingly went to the Falcons. Happy-ish for him. Cam Jordan is quality a troll. He's a quality troll.
I'm glad you felt the same way I did about this.
I would have released the same thing with a little bit more profanity. I like it.
There's a ton of respect in there.
Definitely.
And Falcons is so. I never even consider it's our team, so you never think about like the evil disrespectful names they call our team, like you call them the Taints. Falcons they ain't terrible.
Nah, that's what they so that really came from New Orleans trying to figure out a disrespectful word for the Falcons after we started calling them the Taints. If you really want to know it, that's where it came from. I was like, because it's one of those Twitter words that kind of went off. I was like, oh, okay, I see y'all. Y'all got mad at us calling you the Taints. It's okay. I'd be upset too.
Well played. But I also feels good when arguably your best defensive player, if not your best, one of your best defensive players, has valuable, good things to say. This is not something you really have to do, especially them going to your mortal enemy. And he should have insight in depth on those guys, what they can do well and what they can't do well.
Yeah. I'm trying to read up about his blueprint for the pass rushing, but it's really nothing here. I mean, his blueprint, like we talked about.
He's not going to give you the sauce.
Nah, but what we talked about is he rushes the passer and he stops the run. If you can do that in the NFL, I mean, you can look at the two teams in the NFC East. Oh, they punching. Look at the two teams in the NFC.
Oh,
the
they
NFC
punching.
Championship. Yeah, he punching.
Oh, he punched him. He did. That's 1, 2. Oh.
He's punching at the ball.
But you can't keep punching me in the arm. He looked at him like, bro, you are crazy as hell.
But anyway, yeah. More interesting news with the Falcons. Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith. Hey, man. They put together a hell of a staff on the low. The Falcons are working on a deal with Packers DB coach Jerry Gray to join defensive coordinator Ryan Nielsen's staff, per NFL Network's Mike Garofalo. Jerry Gray actually has time with Arthur Smith back when he was with the Redskins. The Commandos.
The team formerly known as.
Yeah. So, I mean, you go and get a top-tier defensive line coach at his heart in Nielsen. Then you go get the Packers secondary is fantastic. It is good.
Correct.
And you go get the DB coach from the Packers. Maybe you land a DB from the Packers too. Shh.
We still got to be looking for a linebacker coach because basically all the DMP's assistants, they just chop. They just say, hey, man, it's been fun, but we're going to go in a different direction.
Yeah, and I can see that. Now, what this means is this is really the rebuilding year, in my opinion. You already have the base on offense, but the way that the pieces are falling, you have all the money, you have all the picks, and now you're building a defensive staff who's going to take I assume the majority of our money is gonna go to defense. And the majority of our picks are gonna go to defense.
As long as you get us a receiver in there. But now this is the thing. You can really go all defense, but you need to go offense early. I think
Yeah.
If you need to probably, if you can go get that offensive lineman Skoronski from Northwestern, or you get Jerry Porter Jr. Those are my two big swings. And I know those are probably not the sexiest pick because Skoronski came from Northwestern.
Not
Jerry Porter Jr. just because.
I don't know if I would take Skoronski at 8.
Or Jerry Porter Jr. I know that a lot of people want him lower, but he's a first rounder though. You won't get it. Nice. If you don't draft him, then you won't get a second shot at him.
He's nice too. You to me, I mean, since we're here, one, we do have to get a linebackers coach. That leads us to figuring out with the new hires, you kind of figure out who's staying and who's going, right? Like you would think.
I would assume Rashad Evans stays. He's like top 10 attackers in the NFL.
Yeah, Rashawn Evans stays. But really, the person on the chopping block for the linebackers is Michael Walker. Michael Walker is the one. He looked good 30% of the time, and he looked good, damn good. Pick 6. rushing the passer, all that stuff. But when he looks bad,
It's ugly.
It's ugly. I mean, like he left you in the dust type ugly. Like he's not really great in coverage, which is interesting because he played strong safety at one point in college. So it's interesting for him. We got D'Angelo Malone. We don't really know if he's good or not from Utah, rookie. We got a bunch of young, unproven linebackers with Troy Anderson and Rashaan Evans. So those back three or back four, depending on who comes in, are the ones that are going to be fighting for their lives at the end of the day. Because you can still go get another.
That's where I think you start using 3, 4, 5, 6, and just draft as many guys that you like as possible. See if you can hit on, another few like we did like we've done so far.
Yeah, Troy Anderson. Really. That dude Anderson is good. He's everywhere. What else we got?
They talking about Julio might be back.
Man, do you really want Julio?
I don't have an issue with Julio coming back.
Julio coming back if he's in a mentor role. If he's a mentor role and he's teaching like he taught Calvin Ridley, or he was giving because Drake London could be a problem.
And Kyle Pitts, who better to teach you than a guy built like you guys? Yeah. And what if he can, hopefully get healthy enough to be the fourth option?
Be the fourth option. Also, like, I think the value in that he wants to. I think if Julio wants to coach, I don't know what all young coaches want, older football players want to do. Older football players, younger coaches. But if he wanted to coach, he definitely could. This would be the starting block. If you could get Kyle Pitts, Drake London to be superstars under your tutelage,
wouldn't that be nice, boy?
You become the possession receiver, but you out there physically showing and like visually showing them, like everybody can see you showing them, and then you take like the third receiver, whether it's Olamide Zaccheaus or somebody that we draft, because Cordero's gonna be Cordero if they use him correctly. Please use him like Debo.
Yeah.
Please use him like Debo. Please use him like Debo. But you get another receiver and you make that third receiver good. All of a sudden, you're going to be a grad assistant at Alabama. You got the pipeline to coaching if you want it. Grad assistant at Alabama. All the offensive coordinators that were there while he was coaching. Everybody loves him that plays against him.
And he has such good training skills and regiment that
he's T.O. without the personality.
Yes, we don't have a ton of leadership.
Nope.
So if we could get that, he would be excellent. And he's a receiver with a good attitude. So yeah, I like that a lot. That works. And it'd be nice for him to come back and then you can retire when you want to as a Falcon, bro.
Yeah. You're gonna come back and retire as a Falcon anyway. You have to.
Debo is a monster.
Yeah. Big man. You have to. And finally, before we go, Falcons rookies again led the team in rushing and receiving, and should have led the team in passing. But it is what it is. But the rookie Tyler Algier rushed for 1,000 yards as a rookie. Drake London had 866 yards as a rookie. I think the future is bright. Kyle Pitts coming back. Got a lot of young bombers, man. Got a lot of young bombers out here.
That's a successful draft. Congratulations, Terry Fontenot.
5 starters.
We drafted. Hey, we needed a running back. We got one.
Yeah, 5 starters.
We need a receiver. We got one. Boy, man, Calvin Ridley, you really blew it, bro. You really blew it.
They're gonna let McCaffrey.
Can you imagine if we had Calvin Ridley right now? 49ers are desperate.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 minutes left. 49ers. We called it 31-17. They had no quarterback, so it's 31-7. But yeah, man, the future is bright for us. We told y'all we wasn't that bad. And if you can get 4 to 5 starters every year in the draft, you are looking at like perennial contender type
What?
thing.
No, you can't do that every year. You don't need to be starting.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do that every year. But I mean, that's a help. I don't think, and we talk about it. I don't think
that probably is probably a top 10 draft class if you know football, but it's a different conversation for a different day because people specialize in being stupid.
I forgot about J.C. Horn, man. Here we go. J.C. Horn, man, had a nice little.
Said hi.
Yes, sir, I will.
I love getting to know him. He was an unbelievable player.
Yes, sir.
And he was responsible for the development of Roddy White.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You always talk about that.
Well, it's true. I mean, he was a great player, but he was a great teacher, too. So
Yes, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Yes, sir. I appreciate
Said
you.
hi.
Yes, sir, I will. Nice to meet you.
Are you related to Joe Horn?
That's my dad.
Your father?
Yes, sir.
Oh, God.
Yes, sir.
Tell him I said hi.
Yes, sir, I will.
love getting to know him. He was an unbelievable player.
So basically, when we played against the Carolina Panthers, J.C. Horn with the University of South Carolina was the number 1. No, he's number 3 corner. No, he's a year older than Sauce Gardner and them, ain't he?
Correct. Yes.
So I think he was like the number 2 cornerback taken in his draft. I'm very familiar with J.C. Horn, him going to South Carolina. You know, we are SEC football fans. We know exactly who he is. You just don't throw the ball his way. Throw it to somebody else. They fighting. Joe Horn.
Boy, I don't know if y'all saw that, but hey, when Trent grabbed you better let go. He might need to go into that tent the way he got body slammed. Dog. I don't like to just,
So I told y'all we watching the NFC Championship
emotions
game
mid podcast, but the way that he just unearthed him, it was like, oh man, that is not it. 49's got to be hurt right now. God, because you didn't even get a chance.
Look at that. Look, he got him up. Look. Get out. Ooh. Ooh.
Get out the club, bro. Get out the club. Oh.
Lord.
You can tell that Trent has been in the club, and he is the guy not looking for anything but smoke. I'm not.
42 threw a punch, though.
Yeah, hey.
Yo, Trent Williams and Ndamukong Suh.
You got thrown like that, too.
Yo, look at Ndamukong Suh. Ran up on him, though. Trent Williams said, hey, man, shut up.
Trent looked unbothered. I'm not afraid of you. Now, everybody else out here might be. Bro, you come over here playing with me, you'll end up like him.
Man, we stepped on the J.C. Horn stuff, man. But shout out to J.C. Horn, man. Great corner. Now that Wilkes is gone, I thought the Falcons were going to hire Wilkes, a defensive coordinator. He beat the shit out of that dude. They keep showing the body slam.
I told you I'm done.
They keep showing the body slam, dog.
That's disrespectful, yo.
But yeah, shout out to JC Horn, man. I don't know.
Shout out to him getting thrown out of the club. That's beautiful. And it's offsetting penalties. I got body slam like that for no reason.
For nothing. For literally nothing. We got to play the down
that's
again.
That's not equal. Hey, you need to go to the replay on that, bro. You can't say that nothing I did equal what he did to me.
They kicked him out the game, though. They kicked Trent out the game. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen,
you think they're going to leave him in and let him do that to somebody?
We've come to the end of the ATL edition of the Splashcast, episode 88. We come to the end of the Falcon segment, episode 88 of Splashcast, ATL edition. We will be right back with the Hawks/Dream segment, followed by the Braves, man. Y'all stay tuned.
Hey, and watch out for Trent Williams. He don't play no games.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our Hawks Dream segment of episode 88 of the Splashcast, the ATL edition. Got a few things we're going to talk about today, man. Really, with the Hawks, man, this is midpoint checkup time, man. This gut check. We just played who? We just played the Clippers. You know how we do. We always like to pull up the schedule. So we just played the Clippers. If y'all can see right here, we lost 120 to 113. This is the first for what Reggie's gonna say here. Just lost to a better team. Nobody really played badly. Nobody really played badly. Trey had 31 points, but he was getting people involved. We kept feeding John Collins after he started out on the hot start. Capella came in. Jalen Johnson put Norman Powell on a poster. But at the end of the day, one team had Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. One team did not. And that team that had them ended up winning. Can't even get mad at it.
You can't get mad at it. You're correct. I'm not upset that we lost. I also think that this is a game that we lost. It was extremely winnable. Clint and JC were murdering them in the post. They did not really have an answer like they did last time. The last time we played them, they blew the doors off us. Zubats went crazy.
Last time we played them, we won.
I'm pretty sure Zubats went very crazy last time and we lost.
We split the season series 1-1, if I'm not mistaken.
So
beat them
for
on their
me,
court, like, not too long ago.
we were getting everything that we wanted in the paint. And then at one point we just devolved to Trey and DeJounte shooting mid-range jumpers. I don't know. Sometimes I get kind of frustrated and we won't take what's obvious to us. We can just beat them with two guys, and it doesn't have to be Trey and DeJounte every time. Like, if we can win with Trey and DeJounte, we will 100% win with Trey and DeJounte. If we could win with two other players, we'll try to work them in best we can.
I feel you on that, but I mean, Trey is 10-21, 31-10. He did have 5 turnovers. John Collins, 16-5. What bothers me about John Collins is he ended up with 16-5. He had 10 or 12 in the first half.
Exactly.
But
then especially if you take out the threes, he's 7-10 from the field. He's 70%. And Clint Capella for the majority of the game was 100% to the very end. We were just not shooting enough shots with our bigs who were making everything. We gave them a chance to beat us by taking lower percentage shots. They are probably a better team, but what we were getting in the paint, we could have beat them if we just stayed in the paint.
I mean, Reggie Jackson always, for some reason, goes off against the Hawks. But Kawhi Leonard and Paul George had 32 points, 23 points. Kawhi Leonard, he started off like 2 for 12. And then he ended up 12 for 20. And I was like, wow.
Now that part, I watched that with my own eyes, and there wasn't a mid-ranger that they shot that wasn't good money from basically anywhere they wanted it.
And three. He started hitting.
That's why you pay Paul George and Kawhi Leonard.
They started hitting threes. They started hitting threes over people. And that's when I was like, oh, y'all gonna have to just strap on for the ride. Pause.
Those are why those guys. That's the reason that you paid DeAndre Hunter, and it was up for consideration because once you have a guy who has that size and can really get that mid range to where it's like a layup almost. You have one of the most dangerous players in the NBA, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and DeMar DeRozan. Just guys who can get it in the mid-range and make it look easy every time. Ain't nothing but stress.
I will say our bench let us down a little bit, but for the most part, and I think I texted you this about this game, and we'll get into the schedule here in a little bit, but I think I texted you this about the game. John Collins and DeJounte Murray started off on fire. Like, DeJounte Murray got 9 points quick in the first quarter. John Collins had like 10. DeJounte finished with 15 points. John Collins finished with 16. Yes, we complain about John Collins not getting the ball, but as I watched this game, Clippers made and Tyronn Lue made an adjustment very quickly in the second quarter, and that adjustment stayed the entire quarter, the entire game. He put Paul George on DeJounte Murray. He put Kawhi Leonard on John Collins.
But
And
Kawhi wasn't really stopping John. He was in the way.
But they were switching each other, right?
Yeah.
So even if you're not stopping John Collins, you're making it difficult to the point where he's taking.
Yeah.
At the beginning, John was taking layups and he was just shooting. They put
he put it in the post, spin right, spin left. He was just beating you with a basic post move.
Yeah, they put Batum and Norman Powell on John Collins, and John Collins was him and Jalen Johnson were killing them.
That is my most frustrating time. Is as soon as you see Luke Kennard, it should be everything off, red, Omaha, whatever you want to call it. Get the ball to John, beat him. Now, John, you got to beat him every time. There can't be any question. If Luke Kennard is down there in the post, ragdoll him.
But again, Tyronn Lue made that difference, made that change. It's easy to shoot over Kennard. It's difficult to shoot over Kawhi because Kawhi ain't gonna, and it's difficult to shoot over Paul George because Kawhi may, in terms of the length of his arms, may not be as crazy as Paul George, but you can't move him. Paul George isn't as swole as Kawhi, but he has a 7'3" wingspan or something. John ain't got long arms, so you throw different defenders at him. That effectively, I ain't gonna say neutralized John, but that changed the way that the offense was come down, get the ball to John. That's what we were doing, and I was like, oh, we're winning, and we were winning.
But we don't even do that. I've seen so many times where we'll clearly have a guy who just has no chance against John, and we'll just run the offense. And I'm like, bro, stop running the offense right now.
But
that's
that's
me nuts more than anything.
But focusing on this game though, we ran the offense through them, and then the Clippers said, "Okay, I think that Terrence Mann can guard Trae Young." And while Trae ended up playing well, Terrence Mann, he couldn't stop Trae, but Terrence Mann is at the end of the day is 6'6", and Trae Young is 6'1". There were a few plays that Terrence Mann and Trae got into it where, and I will give Trae some credit. He backed off of the hero ball a little bit.
I will 100% say there are a lot less, and I dare say damn near none of the 40 footers anymore. None. I think that he shot.
He still takes them. That's his 2-for-1 shot.
I think he just shot so poorly this season. They're like, bro, you are not even allowed to shoot those no more. You're not making enough of these regular threes for you to get out there and shoot no more of those. And I think that's helped. Now I just wish he wouldn't force twos as much. Sometimes I'm like, bro, you didn't need to do that. Don't force it. Just don't force it. If he ever just becomes Steve Nash.
Yeah, I will say you can tell that he's trying. He's trying to let the game come to him. I don't think he's ever been put in the position to where he has to let the game come to him on any level. I think he's been good enough since high school that he's always have the ball in his hand, always dictate. And you could tell when he plays off the ball at first. Every time he's off the ball at first, he kind of stands there, and it's 50% him, 50% our offense. Our offense makes him clapping too. No, not even that. Like when he's standing there and you pass the ball to DeJounte to get it to John Collins, there's no movement on the backside. That's the offense. That's not him.
That drives me nuts.
But
that drives me so crazy.
In terms of him now, when he's on front side and he passes the ball in, he doesn't know what to do either. But at first, now you're starting to see him get more. He's starting to move around when he doesn't have the ball. I just need Nate and the offensive coaches from the Hawks to have some more cutting. Make the offense, the starters play like the bench. The bench, we have all the cutting in the world.
That's the thing that frustrates me more than anything is, and you could draw some away from the ball fouls if you just run around because you are fast and you know how to just stop discreetly enough that, when he does it and everybody gets mad, but he's so fast and so little, you trying to keep up with him. He's tough, and when he stops, he's so little that when you hit him, he goes flying. But and I guess that maybe that's just a result of the offense. But if you have him and he's off the ball, he has. I'm not gonna say he has no value, but he has limited value stuck in a corner or stuck somewhere because you can just stand there. But if you move him and set a back screen, yeah.
You want to be Steph? Go look at how Steph moves without the ball. It's constant. Go look at go study, and he studied Ray Allen. Go study Ray Allen.
Rip.
He studied Rip. Rip studied Reggie Miller. Like, just go look at how these guys started shooting and moving once they got the ball and just catch and shoot. You could be one of the better players
too. It doesn't do a ton of movement. I don't feel as much.
Doesn't. I think DeJounte needs more. I think he's better equipped to have the ball in his hands, though. But I need him to understand when he doesn't have the. He at times, if he hits 2 in a row, he gonna shoot. And sometimes, a lot of the time, he got
a little Trey Young too, where I'm like, whoa, big dog, didn't need that shot. Like, our team should damn near play basketball like football, run the whole set play, just run the play.
So,
and if the play, that's how we used to play. Either go very early and get a bucket in transition, or run the whole play out and then see where the ball stops.
So our next 4 games this week at Portland, we got a 4-game West Coast road trip. At Portland, at Phoenix, at Utah, at Denver. The trade deadline is what? The 4th, or is it the 11th?
The 7th, February 7th.
So if there's going to be any movement, it's going to be right in here. Dame Lillard just dropped 60 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists on 30 shots. Phoenix got Chris Paul back. Utah is Utah, although they're in a lull, and Denver right now is number 1 team in the West. Followed by, if you want to add in that Tuesday game, you got New Orleans.
We can beat Portland. Phoenix is in a very weird place. Utah is in a very weird place. Last time we played Denver, we played them without Trae Young and beat them. New Orleans, I know that's next week, but they still don't have Zion. We need to win out of these next.
This road trip, this 5-game West Coast.
We're gonna eventually need a streak now. You're gonna have to beat somebody.
Well, I mean, we've had a streak. We had 5 right here, 6, 7, 8.
We've
8
given away
4.
so many. We gave 2 games to Charlotte away. We still got another. We need to get above
500.
New York and Miami. And there's one more team.
So
we need to at least
a game
get
and a half behind New York,
next to Cleveland.
2.5 behind Miami, 3.5, 4.5 behind Cleveland. I think if we were to get everything in order, that we are a number 4 or 5 seed. I don't know about 4 seed just because the way that Kyrie and Kevin are playing right now, when they're together, they pretty much have this 4 seed locked up to me, especially with Nicholas Claxton trying to be Defensive Player of the Year. But that 5 seed, that 5-6 seed is where we could fall in, because I think we're better than Miami. I think we're better than the New York Knicks. I think we could fall.
To be better than them.
We fall in the 5 seed, and we end up playing whoever the number 6 seed is. Because the play-in is 6 through 10, right? 6, 7, or 7 through 10. 7 through 10.
Yeah, we just need to really get out. If we get into the play-in, it don't really matter because we're not ever getting to 4. So we just need to. If we get to 6, 6 is 5.
That means we play Milwaukee.
You
6 ideally might be the best. Might be the best. The best place for us to be because we match up very well with Milwaukee. We do not match up well with Joel Embiid. We do not match up well with Kevin Durant and the Boston Celtics. We actually match up well with the Boston Celtics, but I don't want to go to the play-in. So at that point,
you're exactly right.
I take the 5 seed. I think we give Brooklyn a run for their money. But I think the best chance we have for an upset is Milwaukee, personally.
Yeah, especially if we can stay healthy. Yeah, we got the guys you would assume to at least be able to jump Giannis. I mean, the only thing is eventually you assume Middleton comes back. But Hunter, you got to earn your money.
So we discussed where we at. What are we doing? Do you think we're gonna get rid of John Collins before February 7th?
I don't know how you do that. The issue with John has always been the issue with John. There's no way to get rid of him and get better. You're not trying to get better, then what are you doing? You're basically telling everybody, well, the season's over. We're not trying to win a championship. I've never seen a deal. I don't even see a deal where the Falcons break even with John Collins, to be honest.
No, everything's going to be a loss. You're not going to get a player of his skill or better. It's not going to happen. You can't. There's nobody, unless you were to go get.
None of those guys are available.
Jared Vanderbilt, and he all of a sudden has a jump shot. That's the only comparable piece I could see. Because Jared Vanderbilt does play. He is very athletic. He plays really good defense. He's long. But he just can't. He is Clint Capella of the power forward position. And
that means that you have basically four guys whose shot profile is at the rim. Jalen Johnson, Onyeka Okongwu, Clint Capella, and Jared Vanderbilt.
Well, the wheel and deal is then you trade Capella and somebody for Ayton. But that ain't going to happen. Ayton, Vanderbilt, Hunter, Trey, and DeJounte. That would be pretty good because you could play Ayton a foot outside of the paint, and you can let Vanderbilt just run and be ultra athletic. But if you get Ayton, then you don't need to get rid of John. So, but you don't have the money for it. I don't think we make a move for John. I don't. Maybe
would you trade Ayton for Bogey and Capella?
Yes, but yeah, let AJ play. I would.
That would be. That makes our defense worse, though, boy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It makes our defense.
And
you'd have to play Okongwu more.
And Nate, you would have to play AJ Griffin.
Well, at that point, I mean, yeah, you got to play who's on the roster. If he were to play a Holiday brother over AJ
he shouldn't
Griffin,
already be playing him more than 12 minutes a night and him not.
That's another discussion, man. Why does Nate not play Jalen Johnson? Jalen Johnson dunked on Norman Powell and played 5 more minutes and did nothing wrong.
I cannot for the life of me understand why he won't play AJ Griffin and Jalen Johnson.
I think
that's one of the few things that makes it difficult when people like fire Nate.
I think Nate's out the door.
His mismanagement of rookies is criminal. There's no other way to put it other than criminal.
I think he's out the door. I don't think he cares anymore. I mean, I think he cares. That's the false narrative that I don't want to start. I think he cares, but I think he knows that he's retiring or leaving or whatever. And
he's gonna do it how I want to do it. If
do whatever I want.
You like it. If you don't,
then go home.
I'm out anyway. I'm gonna go out just like I came in on my own terms.
So is it safe to say our end of season goal is the 6th seed, 5th or 6th seed?
No. Well, technically yes. My answer is gonna be not being the play-in.
So not to be in the play-in. We don't deserve to be in the play-in. We need that rest.
No.
Do we have an all-star? Since all-star weekend is coming up. You see me stroking the beard? Pause. Necessary.
I don't understand. I think if you've watched every Hawks game, I think that DeJounte Murray has been a better player than Trae Young for the entire season. I don't think that DeJounte Murray is even in the conversation for all-star.
I think Trae Young has better numbers.
I'm talking about if you look at the games that we've played.
I don't think anybody's looking at the games outside of Hawks fans. We're not a national team.
That too. I think that, DeJounte Murray, I have seen him win at least 4 games for us. And those are 4 games we would have 100% lost last year.
I don't know, to answer your question. John Collins doesn't get enough touches to be an all-star. Clint Capella
Never
has
mind.
been hurt too long to be an all-star. Bogey's been too inconsistent. DeAndre Hunter's been hurt and inconsistent. DeJounte Murray is probably going to make second team all defense. It may be first team all defense if he continues to lead the league in steals. But he's been inconsistent too. And then Trey has been, I think people are starting to see, I think all the controversy from going on with Trey, the front office with Nate, I don't think unless we were number 2 in the East, I don't think anybody was going to make the All-Star. It's too much going on.
But I mean, DeJounte is 21, 5 and 6. That ain't bad.
That ain't. I mean, so of the guards that are gonna make it?
But he's probably 10 points less. Yeah, all of those guys are almost at 30. But he plays so much better defense than all of them.
Man, don't nobody want
They
to
don't care about defense
in the
though.
NBA. In the
Care
NBA,
about defense.
I wouldn't be surprised if soon you see a defensive player of the year not make an All-Star team. I would not be surprised if that happens soon.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a rebounder. He's a good rebounder, and he's a good, passing lane. He's not as disciplined defensively as Hunter is in staying in position, but his aggressiveness is something that Hunter does not play with a whole lot of.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice. I mean, he's just, I don't think he's not this year. He's not an all-star. I don't know, unless him and.
I still like this team so much. I just wish they liked each other. That's what I really think it is. If you really look at this team, you really can't make any moves to make this team any better.
No, you're at the blow it up stage now. Trey's got to embrace 18 and 15.
But it's no reason for you guys to be a 500 team with what you got. You have way too much.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes, man. We're coming up on All-Star Weekend. I'm interested in the trade deadline. Y'all be on the lookout. If John Collins gets traded, just know that somebody, both of us or me or Norwood, depending on who's available, will be on to have a discussion that day because it is something that we don't want to come. But now more and more teams that the trade deadline is coming around. I don't know if it's them trying to drum up some more capital for John, but now it's the Cavs, now it's the Heat, now it's the Mavs.
But
like
I don't
all these
see
people.
any options. There are not a ton of teams because you got to think Pacers got to be basically off the board now. Miles Turner gone.
Or you sign him to trade him. It's a very movable contract.
Not and keep us under the luxury tax.
Oh,
you get paid $35. We'd be over the luxury tax. He's getting paid $35 million this year. We're not paying that.
Yeah. It'd
So
be 2 for 1. You'd have to trade John Collins and Bogey. Not for Miles Turner.
I mean,
With Clint Capella.
What I'm saying is it looks like the Wizards and Kyle Kuzma are together. And honestly, if you really trade for Kyle Kuzma, you're just trading for John Collins, less defense, more dribbling. And he's going to want the same contract that John Collins. He's going to get the same contract from the Wizards. So you're not even saving any money. You're just really shaking up the offense. And you would be putting John Collins with Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis. Jesus. Now the rest of that team needs some work, but talk
it out.
But what I was saying was, I wanted to keep Kuzma too and let him play the 3, but you can't do both. So no, we will have Kuzma. I feel like the Wizards would still be kind of short some players, but Kristaps, Beal, and Collins, you got your little team there. The Hawks would still be clearly better, but I think that they could.
I don't think.
Find
I
some
think
other
it's a
players
lateral for
around
John
that.
Collins. You're going from a team that doesn't give you a lot of shots to a team that doesn't give you a lot of shots. You're still the third, maybe fourth option there. Third option, I'd assume.
But he would be in his spot then. You could put Kristaps in the corner. You could move him wherever. John could operate in the paint all day.
Yeah.
He's shooting twos all day.
Yeah. We'll see how it happens, man. We'll see how it happens. Hopefully the Hawks get it together and we don't see. I would love to just see us stand pat and just get a run going.
I just wish that is the most frustrating part, and the reason I don't think a lot of moves happen is I don't think they want to blow it up until it looks like you're probably gonna get a new coach. So you might as well just wait at this point. And you've built is probably, I think, as good a team as you can physically construct at this very moment. I think it's very tough to get better at any position. I mean, unless you think to trade Capella for Ayton, but you would have to trade something with that just because of Ayton's contract. And that's going to make our defense worse, without a doubt.
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the Atlanta Hawks segment of the Splash Cast. We talked about standing schedule, midpoint update, all that good stuff. Hopefully we'll have some more clarity after the trade deadline. We got one more segment to do. Got some Braves news. Y'all stay tuned. We will be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our final segment of the Splash Cast, ATL Edition, episode 88. The Atlanta Braves. We actually have some Braves news. Not a lot, but we got some news, man. We got some news. First off, the old man is here to stay. The Braves have signed Snit through the 2025 season. Shout out to Brian Snicker.
Come a long way, boy. I wanted, once again,
I know what you about to say.
Congratulations.
Boy,
You've done
we
an
wanna
excellent
be fine.
job. You've taken us to a World Series. You won a World Series. At one point, we thought that we was going to have to move from you. So for this to come
block.
full circle, we appreciate everything that you've done. I mean, even after the World Series, we came back and had another 100-win season. I know that, that's a hell of a season.
job,
I know we didn't get as far as we wanted to this season, but to win a World Series and then keep a team
Make it to the
confident and
NLCS.
focused
Yep.
enough to go back and win 100 games,
Make it to the NLCS too, man. I mean,
respect. That is, and that ain't easy. It's one thing to have a good season. It's a difficult thing to be right back. And with all intents and purposes, look like we should be competitive and give another good run at it.
Brian Snicker seems to make all of the right motivational speeches or motivational tactics at the right time. It sucks on one side because you're like, dang, why do we need motivational tactics? But again, when you play 182 games, you're not always going to be at the top of your game. Brian Snicker knows how to get us out of whatever funk or slump we're in every year. He knows how to manage this team. And at the end of the day, he's not afraid to speak to anybody, star player or regular, star player or role player. He will let you know that is unacceptable and will kick you out the game. But there's nothing but everything that he's done so far has pretty much worked. I'm not mad that we lost to the Phillies this year. They were the Braves of last year, of the year of last year. They got hot and they rode it all the way to the World Series. They ended up losing because they played a team that didn't have to cheat, but won the World Series again. So, and Dusty Baker. So, shout out to Snit, man. He deserves to be here, man. 542 and 451. I mean, we're like the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're like the Pittsburgh Steelers organizations.
it looks like they have focused in on, hey, this is our window. Our next window is 23, 24, 25. We about to go right into this. We got one championship under our belt. We have the players that we think that we're going to lock in for the next go at it. We've allocated, reallocated. We checked our list, and this is it. Next 4 years, 3 years, we should be very competitive, and the roster should be locked in. We should be focused on figuring out how to win, not players to win with. And that takes one of the big questions off the board. You can focus on just what you got to do.
Speaking of roster, man, Adam Duvall. Adam Duvall was good. We let him go, went and got his money, realized that we needed him back, brought him back, won the World Series, brought him back again. This year, he is now signed a 1-year deal with the Boston Red Sox. Integral part of our World Series winning team, integral part of the Braves. Mr. Do It All.
And let's be very clear.
All outfield
in a year,
positions.
if you don't like it, come on back.
Come on back, man. What we can say is this is your home base. You can come on back anytime. And the Braves have been known to bring back former players in this regime specifically, especially with pitchers, hitters, and everybody. We've already done it with you once. Go and get your money. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And I think it more and more looks like that's the model. You come here, you give us 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 or 7 years if you're a top tier player, and we're going to do our best to try to win you a championship. And in that time, we'll put you in position to be on a very competitive team. So once it's all over, you can go out there and get your bag.
100%,
and
man.
if you're a player and you're asking for a competitive team, player development, and a chance to win a championship, well, that's a program I can sign up for.
Yeah, man. The Braves are top tier player development, i.e.,
Bam.
our rookie of the year, Mr. Michael Harris II, or second. Michael Harris II showing that he got the Jackie Robinson Award presented to the rookie of the year, man. This is the Braves Instagram where he did actually get his award. So shout out to Mr. Harris for getting that rookie of the year.
And on top of that, shout out to the guy who came in second place, Spencer Strider. I know this ain't on here, but they say he changed his number to 99.
Why?
Oh, because of your boy. What's the movie?
Major League?
The
That's
Cleveland
where I was
Indians.
going. Major League?
Yes.
If he plays Wild Thing, that is it.
I like him 10 times more now.
Yep, 100%. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of the ATL edition of episode 88 of the Splash Cast. Talked about the Falcons, the Hawks, the Braves, and we had a pregame. Pretty good one. Y'all go check that out. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe. Norwood, we didn't miss anything.
Pre-gaming is
Take
key.
us out. Pregame is always key. Postgame, too.
All right. So, of course, this will come out on Monday.
Tuesday.
Y'all get ready. It's going to be another fantastic podcast and weekend from the Splash Cast. Always remember, especially this is extremely important considering the man just got his Rookie of the Year award, more black baseball. That is fundamentally important. We need it. We need to support it. Number 2, more black cowboys and cowgirls. And number 3, the very most important one, the historically black college and university you graduated from, your cousin graduated from, your mother graduated from, that person that went to church with you graduated from. Send some money over there. The historically black college and university in the neighborhood that you belong, the one where you live, that you go for step shows, tailgates, just want to go be on the yard and be around your people. Send some money over there. And then finally, to the greatest learning institution in all the world, the one that gave me and gave Reggie a degree that we earned, Hampton University. Send some money over there on behalf of the Splash Cast. We appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe. Had a time of your life.
Have the time of your life. That was a wonderful ending, but this is not the end because I wanted to show Stetson Bennett.
Oh! Perp walk. Oh, that's it.
That boy, big drunk. Big drunk. That boy
With
got the
water
drunk
bottle.
bop. You
Man,
see
you're
the bop?
still sick right now.
But look, they put him in the front. They put him in the front seat though. That ain't no real arrest.
No, this wasn't the arrest. This is him getting out of jail.
They got him out of there. Big drunk. That's during the day. That boy hung over. That boy they get that boy Pedialyte.
And it's one dude out there. Hey, Stetson, what you go to jail for? I'm like, dang, I'm not even a UGA fan. I wouldn't have done this. This is
boy, he drunk.
Richard Petty.
You got to be drunk. Hey man, if I'm Stetson, the only thing that you can say after this is somebody lays my drink. That's what I would say.
First, hey, I was drinking out of the championship trophy. How about that? That's what I would have said.
Stequavius. All right, man. Y'all stay safe. We'll be back. Love y'all. Make sure y'all check out the pregame as well. Monday Night Raw. See y'all then. Peace.
Welcome to the Splashcast. You can find us at the link below. You can find the podcast versus audio and visual on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Our social media, Instagram, Twitter is @_ the Splashcast. We can also be found on Twitch. We can be found on Facebook, TikTok. Also below that, those are our episode playlists. The newest one is always up. We can be found on Apple Music. We can be found on Spotify. There is a playlist home, which is for all of the different playlists. And then we have the playlist master list, which is every song that's ever been on any of the playlists. And of course, for all of you podcasters, we can be found on Anchor at the Splashcast.
Hey. D-Mark got that heat. I can't change for nothing, and I put that shit on everything. I just put on every chain, every watch, every rain. That look like a hurricane. Pocket felt like Buddha, man. Shut up, bitch, and chew the game. Got hit, ain't know who to blame. Be walked out the biggest dog involved, it ain't no touching me. You ain't hit the top, cause you too broke, you can't even fuck with me. Bought a Hellcat truck to smoke it up, I can't even find the key. I was thinking about hitting the lick for Gucci, thought about signing me. I just started rapping for the fun, you know rhyming these. I just started looking for a play, you know time I need. Niggas started hating out the blue, trying to find a reason. I've been taking showers in the dark, trying to hide from evil. Spent another 50 on the chain, but get it, spell my name. You can try to wish away the storm, but you can't stop the rain. Uncle Tommy had the blocks of cane, God bless the name. Dude ain't gon' shoot below the frame, find the neck and aim. Thousands on these teeth from Johnny Dane, I'm with Flawley Gang. When he drop a song, it go do numbers. When they call the name, you know that we come straight from the bottom. We can't fall again. You can show me one time that you snake, I won't get crossed again. I can hear the devil in my ear like risk it all, young man. Niggas out here playing hard, but sweet just like some toffee candy. I just put 100 up for Junior, I'm an awesome daddy. Nigga probably wishing I was dead, I jump out the casket. Hey, I jump out the casket. Nigga probably wishing I was dead, I jump out the casket.